start off by whipping out my balls.
Very red.
You mind if I tell a really quick story?
Yeah.
I know you've all got questions, so I'll try to make this real fast. Yeah, I know. Me trying to tell a real fast story. This is about Twitter. About me needing to get off Twitter because, God, I need to get off Twitter. I keep just shoving my face right in my ass. But it's so much fun, though, you know? I just love trolling people on Twitter. It's great. But people don't understand. I like just to break balls on Twitter. You know, that they don't know when. They just don't know when I'm being serious and when I'm breaking balls, which is all the time. Yeah, it's the internet, you know. So I just troll people all the time. But you know, anyway, I just meet all sorts of great people on Twitter. So I got this guy who he tracks down like really rare things for me. And that's kind of what I deal in, you know, like really obscure things for Counter Monkey and stuff like that. So, you know, he tracks down like, you know, RPG books and board games and, you know, comic books and import Japanese games. So I'm on Twitter, and this is one of those times where like I'm calling Linkara a fucking nerd because he's got like 4 Starfleet uniforms, you know? He really does, I've seen them. And so I'm like, you nerd. And then people get all offended, but I always follow that up with something like, now if you'll excuse me, I gotta start kicking my guy's ass because I really need to know if he's found that Star Trek collector's plate of the Wrath of Khan. So I post this picture of the Wrath of Khan collector's plate of Ricardo Montalban, you know, in his full glory. You know, his pecs, like, hanging out. And the next post is because, like, I think it's something like, because when I eat Mexican food, I want to lick it right off Ricardo Montalban's pecs. 2 days later, I get this message from my guy. He says, I got the plate. I need an address. And I'm like, what? Dude, you thought it would... What? I didn't want the... How much? He's like, 375. I'm just kidding, he said 25. And I'm like, oh my God, man. Like, you gotta ask me before you go. Wow, he just went out and bought us like a Ricardo Montalban plate, and I was kidding. And then I started to realize, like, I have this power now, like, you know, like, I say stuff on Twitter and people don't know I'm joking, you know, like, Jesus. So, like, I gotta either get off Twitter, I gotta be real careful about people knowing when I'm joking, because one day, I'm just gonna get this call, you know, like, I did it, Spoony. I did what you wanted. I found those game devs. And I left them like they left you. Buried alive. Buried alive. XCOM! People are gonna end up dead, you know? Anyway, that's my story about it. But yeah, I now have a Ricardo Montalban collector's plate. I'm serious. I like it, yeah. I was kidding, but it is an awesome plate.
There's holes in their pants.
No, it doesn't. It's not like 3D. That would be kind of awesome.
Somebody get him a 3D printer.
It's got this weird, like, it's not just Ricardo Montalban, like, in full. It's got, like, this kind of, it's kind of one of those Bruce Streisand type things where it's got, like, little scenes in, like, it's like a poster where it's got, like, one scene of, like, Khan lifting up Chekhov in one corner, and it's got, like, I think it's even got like Shatner in one corner doing his like, but yeah, it's got like 5 scenes on it. But yeah, the center dominant thing is like just, you know. Anyway, yeah, you guys can line up if you want to ask questions. I was just trying to tell. Whoa! He was making an end run, man. He was.
Yeah, Mikhail Eugene Crawford of the Non-Pearl Institute. I got 2 questions. Two questions. One quick one, one on your personal one. The quick one is, what breed is your dog?
She's a half Parson Russell Terrier and half pug.
Whoa! What is that?
You can't really see the pug in her except where the tail curls.
Oh.
And her nose is a little shorter. She's mainly like Parson Russell is kind of like a Jack Russell, only like her spots are black.
Okay. And another question is, I know you are having a hard time with Final Fantasy, especially the last one.
Yeah.
And we got another, Final Fantasy sequel coming your way.
Yeah, Lightning Returns.
Anyway, it's about E3, Final Fantasy 15. What do you think of the presentation is? The trailer for it, and what are you looking for?
For 15?
Yeah, forward to it, or you gotta give it a pass?
Here's the funny thing about Final Fantasy, and I know you guys are not going to believe this. I actually do not go into these wanting to hate them.
What?
I don't. I know, right? You don't. I knew you wouldn't believe me. I knew you guys would call bullshit. No, I don't. Because the thing is, I really did go into 13. I really wanted to like it. I did. Because it looks gorgeous. It looks absolutely, it really is like the best looking game on the PS3. It still is. Next to like Metal Gear Solid, Guns of the Patriots, it's still, it's friggin' gorgeous. It's unbelievably gorgeous. And so like I was forcing myself to like that game up until the part where they get to Hope's dad's house. Really, I was like, I love this game. And I got to this point, and I think that's right about the point where in the last part where I give up on the game in storyline. I just like I give up and I walk out. That's actually literally where I gave up on the game in real life. That really is where I gave up.
And you're gonna have to.
See, I'll get to this. I'm getting to it. So it got to that point where I was going to play the game. I pick up the controller, and I'm about to turn on the game, and I go, no. I actually said the word no, and I put the controller down. I couldn't do it. So the thing is, though, I really wanted to like that game. And so when I saw there was a Final Fantasy Versus 13, it looks really good. Because it looks like it's ripping off Kingdom Hearts.
It's made by the same
And
guy.
that's a good thing. Go ahead.
Same game director.
Rip off Kingdom Hearts. All for it. And so so
It's a good game.
yeah, so it's a good game. So with 15, I'm all for you trying something new. I'm all for you trying a different storyline. As long as you get a new writer, please God, get a new writer. Even Final Fantasy 14, Jesus Christ, was that an abomination. But the thing is, if they're willing to go back and fix it, I'll give it another try. Because if they think it's worthy of another release, they seem to really be serious about going back and giving that one another try. So if they're willing to go back and seriously give that a try on a console, because it was so bad they weren't willing to give it a console release, right? So if they're willing to commit to a console release, they must be pretty certain that it's worthy to go out there because they apologized for that. How seriously bad did it have to be for them to apologize for it? They pulled it. They pulled a major PC release. That's bad. You know what I mean?
No, see,
What they're doing is how much they can get away with. You know?
Who are you? 8-Bit Mickey, what are you doing here?
It's been like 7 years since I've been here.
I know, right? It's to boldly fleece 8-Bit Mickey. What are you doing in space? Go ahead. You were saying about...
No, Microsoft's just seeing how much they can get away with. Because, all right, we're going to slap on all of these requirements and rules. And then the government tells us what to do. And I'm not playing that game. Am I right?
Yeah! Screw the man!
Mickey, I'm gonna let you finish, but... Final Fantasy VII was the best Final Fantasy game of all time.
Six.
Wrong, sir. Wrong. No, it was not the best. The best one was the one where you have to fight. Urgays, yeah, because you get to beat the shit out of Squall. Yeah, Dissidia, yeah. Also, Kingdom Hearts, because you get to beat the shit out of Squall right away. And basically you get to beat the shit out of Titus, even though he's not called Titus, he is. Right, you know.
Who doesn't want to be uptight?
Yeah, but like 14, I'll give 14 a crack. But, okay. Yeah, so there you go. I really don't go into wanting to hate these.
My name is G1 Sachs from Moorhead, Minnesota. Since we're on the topic of unexpected returns, I'll give you an over-under Spoony. Over-under 6 months before Rob Van Dam is cut by WWE because they don't know what to do with him.
I don't think they know what to do with him now. Rob Van Dam, how long before he's cut? Over, under 6 months.
For any reason.
Under. Yeah.
3 years.
Under. And it's not that he's cut. I just think he's signed to a limited number of dates. You know, like The funny thing about Rob Van Dam is he's wrestled the same match since ever. No, he's wrestled the same one match ever. You can call every spot in his match ever. Like the only difference is since ECW is garbage wrestling, it's like he just involved getting hit with chairs and falling through stuff. Like that was the only thing. Yeah, and so like the only difference is Sabu would like botch things and he'd have to cover for it.
But Rob Van Dam's not Sabu. He doesn't botch in every match.
And really the only difference now is that he's old and yeah. I don't know. I was never really impressed with Rob Van Dam, but I don't know. People still. The best part about Rob Van Dam, well, not anymore, but like in TNA, you remember his music in TNA? It's so lame. This is okay. Like half the people don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. But Rob Van Dam is a wrestler, okay? And yeah. So, but when Rob Van Dam would come out, he had the shittiest music. This is what it was, and I'm not even kidding. Rob Van Dam! The whole effing show! Rob Van Dam! The whole effing show! Van Terminator! Van Crushinator! Van Assassinator! What was the other one? But like, some of the things I just mentioned aren't even his moves. Like the Van Terminator is his move, but I don't even know what the fuck a Van Crushinator is.
Into Hulkamania!
The Van Assassinator doesn't exist. The Van Crush, like, he's got moves so good they don't even exist yet. or like they're so good that they're banned in the United States because like they could kill people. That's what I like to believe. Like, yeah, like that you can only do them on international waters because they'll kill people. Go ahead.
Okay, 2 questions.
Sure.
Did you ever find Dollar Jelly?
Sorry, what?
Did you ever find Dollar Jelly?
Dollar Jelly? No. Dollar Jelly. Did you ever see the Raiden video? Yeah, see, there you go. I know it's like boysenberry, but no.
Okay, any other question? What did you think of E3?
I didn't go to E3.
Oh, you didn't? Well, I mean, you might have saw it, didn't you?
Oh, okay.
No one E3.
Yeah, okay, here's what you're really asking, is what did I think about Microsoft and the subsequent Xbox 180? That's what you're asking. I've done my best to be as inflammatory as possible on Twitter. You know me. Here's what I think. It doesn't matter what side you're taking. I think everyone's just fired up to have a console war because it's been forever and we're so psyched up about that.
It's on! Race war.
I do think people are just. I do think we're in for just another console cycle of. We're in for Xbox 360 too. But it doesn't matter because the problem is that this is really Microsoft has engaged in like the worst PR I've ever seen. It doesn't matter if this whole. It doesn't matter if this whole DRM thing is good or not. It's not. But it doesn't matter if it's this wondrous thing, if it's going to lead us into the future, if it's going to like revolutionize cloud computing, if these games are going to be bigger than ever, if it was going to be this magical wonderland, and all of a sudden it's been taken away. I don't know. It might have been, it might not have been. But the thing is, Microsoft was so smug and condescending and just hopelessly just
Microsoft.
They were just so dickish about it. They spread such just.
They spread the hate dick. Slap the hate dick on the table.
They were just such bastards about it, and they were so confrontational and questioned about it. Like we just couldn't help but just.
What about trading games? Did you steal games? Just steal games.
Yeah, we just couldn't help but get more suspicious about it, and then the backlash kept coming, and they got even more hostile about it. So the PR was just handled terribly, to the point where they were going to get really defensive and pissy about it. And instead of just like accentuating the positive and explaining patiently to us about the good side of this and talking about how this was going to help us, they just started talking about like here's the worst part of it was they were just saying like instead of like talking about the check-in every 24 hours, the big sticking point for everybody. Like what if, we have service personnel who don't have internet? Or,
360!
yeah. What if we have service personnel who don't have it? Or like, what if we don't have, what if we can't afford good internet? What if our internet flakes on us? My big problem was, what if we live in an area that is afflicted by a disaster? Which happens a lot. What if I live in an area that's hit by a hurricane? The telecommunications network goes down, which happens. Some of you live in an area that was hit by a hurricane or a major tornado or something like that. You don't have phone service. Network goes down. A fiber optic trunk gets hit by a backhoe. This happens. You don't have internet. All of a sudden, your catalog is gone. It evaporates. And so, Major Nelson gets on a podcast and he goes, too bad. What's his answer? Whatever, get a 360, dick. Get over it. That's his answer. He's like, well, we got a solution for guys like that. Buy a 360.
What's a military submarine?
Yeah, that's his response, and I'm not even exaggerating. That's his tone. And I'm like, What?
Come on.
There's even footage of him with Angry Joe, and I couldn't even believe it. Where he's like, Joe's like, what? Like, this isn't that hard, you know? Like, just why just take it away? And he, like, Major Nelson gets this really pissy attitude. He's like, are you
Are you a
software
developer,
engineer?"
Joe?
What?
Are you a developer,
Yeah, he's
Joe?
like, are you a software developer now? And Joe's like, no. He's like, well, then you have no frame of reference. And I'm like, he's like, bitch. No. And he's like, this isn't something you can just flip a switch. The whole console is built around this kind of thing. 3 days later, flip a switch. So yeah, this whole thing. Yeah. This whole thing just reeked of such bullshit, and it really was just a matter of attitude. And I've never seen this just confrontational attitude. It really was just Microsoft getting on stage, and it was like, we could shit on a plate and you'll buy it. And I was just like, that's not the tack to take. But yeah, that's what I think of E3.
Carlos, and I was wondering, in your opinion, like, the top 3 douchiest wrestlers?
Of what?
The top 3 douchiest wrestlers.
Top 3 douche. You just want me to say John Cena.
No. For me, it's Ric Flair.
Ric Flair? I don't know. I don't know them.
But from like shoot interviews, like stuff you've seen.
I'm gonna punt on this one because I don't know them.
Okay.
Really, I don't know them personally.
Okay, I have another question. Would you be up for a game of Tekken after the panel?
Game of Tekken? I don't know what they'll have me doing after this. Is it Tekken Tag? Because that's really my game. Tekken Tag 2?
Yeah.
I might. Yeah. Actually, ask me tomorrow because I don't know what I'll be doing. Is there a scheduled event for that? I'll be wandering around tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
I will. Douchiest wrestlers. Yeah, I hang out with wrestlers all the time. Yeah, I met Zack Ryder. He's a dick. Woo woo woo.
Best friends forever.
Okay, so most of us know your references on Final Fantasy games you hate. And I'm going to avoid a bomb by asking what your favorite one is, but what are 5 of, in no particular order, 5 of your favorite Final Fantasy games? No particular order.
It all goes to Final Fantasy, don't it?
Yes, it does.
Trigger. Secret Mana.
Yeah.
That technically was.
I don't know.
Got this, man.
Just three if 5 is too many.
Hands down.
I like
10. 10, right? 10.
I like the tactics. I like the tactics games. I like the SNES games. I liked. Help me out here. I didn't like this idea.
Call of Duty.
I like the bouncer. I don't know. I like Dirge of Cerberus. Mist. Oh, Crystal Chronicles.
Crystal Chronicles was the defining voice of our generation. If you don't think that, then you're wrong.
I rented Crystal Chronicles. Oh my god. That game sucked.
I feel your pain.
So much it glowed.
Game of the year?
Octodad.
What?
Carrying simulator.
I don't know. You know what? I actually liked, what was it, Final Fantasy Tactics A2, Grimoire of the Rift? Yeah! Rolls right off the tongue. But you know what pissed me off about that game was the referees or whatever it was? The judges?
Judges.
Those
suck.
assholes! Here's the one that got me. I raged about this guy. There was this one that's like, he goes, okay, no ranged attacks. You know what I'm talking about with this one? Okay, this guy, he goes, okay, no ranged attacks. I'm like, okay, fair enough. I go over there. I range attack this guy, okay? And I get a critical hit. But when you get a critical hit, he knocks back a square. But when he needs to knock back a square, the judge throws his fucking red flag at me and he goes, ranged attack! And I'm like, whoa! I'm like a soccer player, you know, who gets flagged for no reason. And I'm like, what the fuck? It wasn't a ranged attack. He's like, he's over there, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? You know, so like, for some reason, I hit him and he flies back. That's a ranged attack, and I'm like,
You're just not playing right.
But it's like, that's not my fault. I hate
Thank you.
it. I know. It was like, don't get critical hits. It was a good game, I don't know.
When you were filming Final Fantasy XIII, the Dr. Insano scene where you were upgrading the gunblade, how painful was that for you?
Well, okay, I'll talk about that. See, I was going to do a commentary on that one, but yeah. That wasn't painful. What was funny about that was I was making all sorts of, like, vomitous things. So what you don't know is that some of the slimy stuff, you can just do, like, Metamucil. You put it in water, and if you microwave it, it turns into, like, slime. So that's the first stuff I put on there, is, like, microwave Metamucil. I didn't eat that stuff. Some of it was just, like, oatmeal that is, like, I just food colored. I left some of that in the fridge, and I left it in the fridge for, like, days. Now, none of that, some of that I threw in my face. Now, it didn't get in my mouth, but it got in my nose.
Lovely.
No, it went up my nose, and then that didn't help. But what started it was some of this came out of like this little like child science kit that was like this edible. It was like this fun edible. Yeah, it was not like that. It was like this fun edible science kit, like edible slop. So I think so. Yeah. So it was like a edible snot, edible zombie brains, it was like a edible puke. That's what it was called. So I made this edible puke and I made this shitload of edible snot. So this scene, the first thing I had was like I sneezed in my hand. That was the edible snot. So I do this thing where I scoop up the snot and I go, like that. And then I do this thing where I'm like, and I lick my hand. That stuff is horrible. And so when I licked my hand, it was like lime and ass. And so like the first thought that comes across my brain is like, edible my ass. And then I'm like, ooh, that wasn't fake. Like I was seriously like retching, and so like from there I was like, it was on. Like no, it was like that.
It's all.
No, that shit, like trying to hold it down, like that shit was on from there on. So like, that stuff was fucking foul, and like it was on my hand, and I could smell it, and it was like, and so like I threw the shit in my face, and that didn't help. And so the last thing was the actual official edible puke, which looked like really real. And so like I picked this stuff up, and so then that was the last thing, and so when I pick it up, I do this thing where I'm like, and lastly, I go, again, not faked. Because I look at this and I get a whiff of it, and I'm like,
Smell the cherry.
and I go, boom, whoa, and I'm like, oh yeah, again. Bullshit. Bullshit edible. And so like I drink this stuff and I'm like it's kind of one of those things where you're like, I'm just gonna pound this thing. I'm like, and so I'm just like, I'm just trying to hold it back, like, cause now I'm just like sadistic. I'm like masochistic at this point. So yeah.
We've all been there.
So that's what that was like. It was funny cause like the kind of scratch-built stuff that I had made was probably more dangerous and rotten, but the supposedly edible stuff was like disgusting. That was the stuff that made me actually legitimately want to vomit. And then I was on Twitter like asking for like, I was like, what's the stuff they made on Double Dare? Like the snot and shit that came down, because I was like, that stuff has to be at least non-toxic. And so like, I'm like, what's that stuff? And then there's this, someone on Twitter named Pushing Up Roses. I was like, she posts on Twitter this recipe that has like, I forget what it is, but it has like turpentine in it. Something like that. And she's like, yeah, put this stuff in there. And I'm like, you're trying to kill me. And I'm like, I said non-toxic, you. And she's like, who, me? And I'm like, anyway. I don't know if I answered your question, but.
I'm gonna take a little turn away from Final Fantasy here. What's a paladin?
Give me a ball. Throw balls at him.
No, seriously.
I'm not entirely sure.
Really what I wanted to ask is, what drives you to keep trudging through this shit? Final Fantasy? Not even Final Fantasy, everything in general, the movies.
It's my job. No, I love doing it. No, I love doing it, man. It's,
The money! God!
what else would I do? I love doing it, man. Well, and that's why I'm here. It's fun.
Okay, what's up? Well, I guess after tonight I can check holding Spoony's balls off my list. I'm just saying. Okay, a little bit of shop talk, actually. Sure. Because I know you've dealt with this. I've got a camera, and I won't lie, it's a shitty camera. It's grainy as hell. I know you dealt with this as an older camera. What type of software and or filters did you use to mitigate that?
What kind of software do I use?
Yeah, well, to mitigate that back in the day when you were using that thing.
Oh, when did I... What software do I use now, or what did I use back in the day?
Back then, at least clean this thing up to make it look better. Like software, filters, that kind of stuff. Just stuff that can make stuff look better.
When I started out, I was using a DV cam, which had DV tapes. I used a Sony PD100A, which is it's really old. The reason I bought it was because I heard David Lynch was used to film like a number of like short films on it, because I was like, if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. And actually, I bought it on eBay. It was cheap because I bought it used from. It was actually from a softcore porn studio.
Nice.
It worked. It worked. I forgot what it actually had a name. It was called the Christopher Lee. And not after Christopher Lee. Not after Saruman, but that was just it was the name of like the studio or something like that. Yeah. So it was the Christopher Lee, and eventually I actually wore that out. The motor on it ran out. It was good, but
You wore it out? All right.
I wore it out. There wasn't really much. Why is your footage grainy? Like it's
just a really low-grade camera that I'm using right now. It's like a little itty-bitty Canon, you know.
Lighting has
lighting would
has
be a
a
big
lot
thing.
to do with it. White balancing, always white balance your shit. Always white balance your stuff.
Okay.
Figure out what kind of light you're using, if it's fluorescent or like incandescent light, because you'll figure it out. If it looks really, if you look orange, that's white balancing. Figure that out. Also, if your lighting is really, really low, get more light. Otherwise, honestly, this is going to sound douchey. Get a better camera. I use Adobe Premiere Pro, which is not cheap. Sony Vegas is really good. I used Sony Vegas for years, and that's actually pretty cheap, all things considered. You don't actually need very good. It depends on the big question is what you need to do. If you're not doing anything major, you don't need very good at editing software. Actually, CinemaSnob uses shit.
Yeah.
I don't even know. It doesn't even have like
Testify.
I don't even know. It's like. It doesn't even have like a brand name. It like came with it. It like came with this camera.
It's like what you don't want to use.
No. No, it's not even Windows Movie Maker. It's like the bare minimum of what you would use. It's like literally like just click. It's like click and drag. There's no artistic nature to it at all. There's not even like crossfades. But that's all he needs it for. You know, it's like just one clip after the other. It's sad, but no, but it's like that's all. Like that's it. You know, he just does one like. So if you're making short films, yeah, you're gonna need pretty good editing software. But if you're just sitting in front of a chair and bitching about movies, you don't need Premiere Pro. So, but you know, I do more advanced things sometimes. So
Sometimes.
Thank you.
Sometimes.
So, as obviously with games like the attempted XCOM reboot that's getting redone or something, and has there ever been a franchise that you wish they would try to go back to, but hasn't because it's just old or obscure?
A few, yeah. Wing Commander was one I always kind of wish they'd go back to. I really miss Wing Commander, which is actually one of those very, very few games that did full motion video and did it well. If you ever
Red Alert.
Red Alert, yeah.
Red
No, they
Alert
did.
was best.
They went back to that actually. You remember?
Red Alert 2 was my favorite game, but I didn't play anything beyond that.
You remember when they brought back like Trisha Helfer and they brought back Lando?
Kind of, yeah. It's like on the Xbox, it's like,
Hey, Red Alert's back. Hey, guys.
They brought back Billy D. Williams as the president.
Billy D.
Yeah, he's like.
was I the only one who hacked the game and had like Dr. Kevorkian
He's like, Commander, I need you to go beat the Nod forces.
shooting
Well,
dogs out of the bag?
Well, what have we here?
What's going on here? Trisha.
This number 6, I want you to go beat the Imperial forces.
Oh my.
All of a sudden I'm turning into George Takei. He was in that too. He was the Emperor. He was like, you are made of stupid. That's what he says.
You are made of stupid.
Ooh, my. Yeah, let's see. What other game franchise would I bring back?
Fallout.
They did Fallout, you fool.
I want another one. Bring me Fallout.
New Vegas was like 2 years ago.
Fallout 4.
Fool! What do you want?
Lord of the Rings.
They did it.
Wait. Mega Man Legends.
Oh, God. You know what they need to do? They need to do fucking Half-Life Episode 3. What? You know what that is? You know what fucking Half-Life Episode 3 is? That's like Deadly Premonition. It's like 6 years later, and we're like, where's Half-Life Episode 3? And like, Valve was like, shut the fuck up! You get it when you do it. It's like, when it's finished, assholes. And they're like, we're never gonna fucking do that, are we? And we're like, what the fuck is the holdup on that?
Hack Fortress 3!
What?
More hats.
It's like,
More hats.
no, but like, what the fuck is so hard about this? It's just maps. Like you just do maps, and you have Alex record some lines like, look out, that way. There's a tripod. That's it. That's episode. We gotta drive over there. Look out, there's a head crab. Head crab. I just did episode 3. You know the hell of it is if they actually did it, you know how dated it would look? We'd go like, God, this looks like a piece of shit. God, these graphics suck. When's episode 4? I've only got time for a couple more, I'm sorry guys.
Could you describe After Earth in 5 words?
M. Night Shyamalan, go home.
My question is actually, have you, it's a two-parter, have you actually watched Final Fantasy VII Advent Children and the complete version?
Yes, I have.
And then the second question is, what did you think of it?
It's, you know, it's a gorgeous movie, but it makes no goddamn sense. And I'm not picking on it. You know, it's just like it's another one of those I really wanted to like it, but it just makes no goddamn sense. It maybe it makes more sense in Japanese.
You just didn't believe enough.
But it's like, you know what it really is? You know what it really is? It's one of those things where like, we really want to do a Final Fantasy VII movie, but the thing is, if we don't have a movie, if we don't have a Final Fantasy VII movie without Sephiroth, people are gonna bitch, bitch. How do we do that? Well, we can't, because he's so fucking dead. Well, we got the live stream, and fucking live stream can do anything, so live stream, and he's back. Live stream. So he's back. Yeah, that's Advent Children. Yeah. So you can't kill Sephiroth because live stream. That's it.
Was it the 7 swords that came into one? Is that?
Yeah, I don't know. Geostigma, fucking live stream and reincarnation. By the way, the ending to Final Fantasy VII is such bullshit. No, you got like the hope spell. Oh, that didn't work. Love!
Love fixes everything, am I right?
Love is, by the way, love is what fixes Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah!
That is such horseshit.
Hey, nothing fixes that game.
I also kind of have a shot question. It's here's the thing. It's there's a PlayStation game I really like at Velocima. No one's ever heard of it. No one's reviewed it. No one's going to review it. So I was thinking, well, no one's going to do it. Well, why don't I do it? But the problem is I have no idea how to edit. How do I go about learning how to edit? Yes.
Okay. There is a website called lynda.com. Lynda with a Y, Lynda.
Run with Linda.
That website has tons of video tutorials. That is how I learned Premiere, and that is how I learned After Effects. I intentionally went there to find tutorials that talk to me like the biggest idiot in the world. I was like, I want a tutorial that speaks to me like I'm a child. I want one that was like, this is a computer. You push this button to activate the computer. I needed that. No, I was like, I need this thing to show me how to open a computer file. And no, it's like 8 hours of things that shows you how to do the most basic computer things. And by then you know how to do a basic file. And then there's it's not that expensive, and you watch the files, and it's not entertaining, but it's easy enough to follow, and there you go. And it's
You have to put a lot of elbow grease?
It's really not, and it's not a lot of elbow grease. You just watch it, and it has little sample project files, and it walks you through it. And it's simple enough, and it's a lot less dry than just kind of reading a book. So
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Thanks very much.
Yes.
Do it. Do it.
The more you know.
Sorry to bring up Final Fantasy again, but I gotta know what is your favorite like Uematsu composition? Like, what's your favorite song from like all of Final Fantasy?
Katamari.
From Final Fantasy?
Katamari. Oh, that doesn't have to be Final Fantasy, but anything by Uematsu. Like,
I really, honestly, I gotta turn in my testes, but Eyes on Me is really, really good. Eyes on Me is real. I was stunned, not because it's like if you watch that video, in terms of like your storytelling and direction, Eyes on Me tells you more in 4 minutes of visual storytelling and lyrics than fucking Final Fantasy 13 does. And I'm not saying like just bashing on it, but like I'm not saying it just to bash on it, but it really does tell you in like visual terms and in lyrics, almost without saying anything. In terms of like subtlety, than any of Final Fantasy 13 does. It's remarkable. And it's a good song to boot. It's really good. Now the worst one, and again, I know it seems like I'm bashing, and I am. In 13.2, the Chocobo theme. Have you heard this shit? No, that's not what it is. It's a heavy metal thrash version. What? Have you not heard this? I almost want YouTube. Go like, as soon as you get out of here, YouTube this shit, like the Final Fantasy 13.2 Chocobo theme. You will be horrified. Like, imagine if you will, like Pantera doing the Chocobo theme. No, that's not what it is. It's like, oh, it's so bad. And the thing is, you have to listen to it fucking constantly because you have to ride the Chocobos everywhere because it's like, because it's either that or you have to run all over the fucking map because you have to do so much backtracking in that fucking game. All over the place. It's horrible. And and there's no option. There's like no way to turn it off. Anyway, I got time for one more.
Are there any actual plans to do a Board Vulturi web series or like have him as a recurrent character?
I so wanted to do it, but the thing is, it would be so funny. But the thing is, it's such a dated concept, and it's such a kind of inside joke that it would kind of stop being funny after like a month. In fact, it's already pretty dated. It's kind of like, kicking Twilight when it's down is already kind of one of those passe concepts that's like, it's kind of funny to kick it around on Twitter for a week, and it's already kind of done,
That was like the accent.
Oh, you behave. No, it's kind of one of those things that's funny when I'm there. Okay, come on.
So my question deals with the game Myst. What I'd like to know is your opinion on if everything after Myst 3 Exile should be retconned.
You come to me with a Myst question?
I do.
Wow. Just
no. Yes.
I don't know.
Especially Uru? No clue?
I won't talk to you unless you bring me the blue pages. That guy actually reminds me of Dr. Insane when you think about it. Bring me the blue pages. Did anyone actually let that guy out?
Yes.
At least once.
You dick.
The one guy.
Did anyone think like that? By the time you actually got close, you're like, this is a good idea. I feel good about this guy.
Aknar? Come on, Aknar, right?
Like, I bet you read the novels, didn't you?
I didn't.
You're right on. But you were like, by the time you got past the third game, you're like, this is bullshit, retcon this.
No, the fourth and the fifth game should be retconned. 3 was alright.
Is that series is still going, huh?
It's going on in a fan base.
Oh, okay.
Ubisoft picked it up and fucked the shit out of it.
Oh, they fucked Myst.
I have a gift for you.
I'm sorry, man. I'm bashing. I'm sure it's a good series. It's just, wow. I can't believe it's going on. I would have thought they'd kind of retired it. It's a really old series. That series has been going on ever since CD-ROMs. Because I remember.
Forever.
No, I remember when CD-ROMs were new because I had a single spin CD-ROM drive because the first games I picked up were Seventh Guest, Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, and Myst. Those were it. Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. People say that game sucks. I loved it.
Who remembers Laserdisc?
I have Laserdisc. There's a really great series of games called, there was two. It's called Mystery Disc. Did you ever see that? Nobody played that.
Sega Genesis?
Nobody has Sega Genesis. Are you obscure much?
So obscure.
Anyway, that's my time, folks. I gotta get out of here so Stuttering Craig can lose a punch out. Hang on. I gotta take a bet here. Over or under on how many times he gets his punk ass knocked out. I say he gets pretty far, but by the time he gets to Sandman, his ass is going down. Let's see.
That's going down Flamingo.
No, he's not. Well, actually, which Don Flamenco? Second one. The first one.
First one.
First one? No.
First Flamingo.
He cannot possibly be.
Talking trash.
Is he? Well, he can't. If he seriously cheats to go straight to Tyson, I lose all respect for him.
Straight to Tyson.
I'm calling him out.
One hit KO. Let's do this.
All right. I don't want to be sent to jail. So be sure to pick up all my balls before you go. If you have my balls near you, just take one as a souvenir, because I have no use for my balls anymore.
So red. What do you do to your balls?
Yeah. But yeah, that's my time. Thanks so much for coming down. I will be at an autograph session and a live riff of Final Fantasy Unlimited tomorrow. Woo!